crystal repertoire slash crystal diary vibe right now. Working with vanadinite, bismuth, galena, and diopside and black diopside. And galena and vanadinite, which is hard to see, is like four of them. And galena and vanadinite is both lead crystals. And then it's hard to see. I got my little Moldavite, my Tanzanite in there, two of the 12 synergy stones. And I realized too, again, this is a new piece of Moldavite. Moldavite leaves whenever it's done with its work, you know what I'm saying? And what's funny, again, I didn't rush. I'm like, oh, I didn't get another piece right after. I just let it, flow until it's like, all right, I'm feeling the vibe to, work with Moldavite again. But it'll definitely, again, hide from you when it's done doing its work. But as of lately, just been working on being more focused. And again, grounding crystals help with that focus, just like grounding electricity. If electricity wasn't grounded, it would just run rampant and you wouldn't be able to focus that energy or electricity in a manner that allows for you to interface with it, aka us working on a computer or dealing with electronics, because if again, it has a grounding aspect that allows for the electricity to not burst through it, because if the electricity burst through it, we wouldn't even be able to use electronics. Same thing with our body. If the electricity in our heart and our brain was overwhelming, it would be like till we grounded. And somebody brought up fire vibe too, about how the liver is basically like the grounding agent in the body. So the liver, and it makes sense because the liver is like it's high in iron because it's high in blood. Blood has iron in it, and liver is blood dense. So that would make sense because iron would be like that grounding, element in connection with the electricity in our body. So again, it's no coincidence why dandelion root and burdock root so important, because it helps cleanse the blood in the liver. And the liver is a detoxifier of the body. So it makes sense that not only it detoxifies, but it's also like a grounding agent for the electricity in our body. So another reason for the liver to be healthy as well. But I'm not no doctor or anything. But I did sleep at a Holiday Inn. Let me quit playing with y'all though, but man, as it's been a vibe. Today, a new pickup. I never worked with Rhodochrosite before. It's a piece of Rhodochrosite, kind of akin to rhodonite. And again, I speak on how manganese turns crystals pink. In most cases, it'll be manganese that'll have crystals turn the pink color. But again, I just been feeling a vibe to work with the grounding aspects and to be more focused in the physical. Because I'm even feeling like I'm just now starting to ground from my DMT trip where I basically died. I'm realizing, like, when I look at things, I'm like, dang, like I'm almost like just starting to, like, and don't get it twisted, I had to be some kind of grounded in order to be able to do things since then. But it's not as grounded as I could be in my human experience. I'm just becoming more and more grounded. And being grounded doesn't mean going back to the old ways that no longer serve us. That's another thing too, because I realized, like, that little tricky backdoor within my own growth of, like, using going back to old things is, oh, that's grounding. Like, what I'm saying, like smoking a lot, that's ground. Like, no, there's other ways for me to ground. What I'm saying, like, and not bullshit myself, you know, with that aspect. But if I do smoke a lot or whatever, if I do tap into one of those habits, I won't judge myself for being aware of why am I doing it. Am I doing this as a coping mechanism? Am I doing this to, hide a certain feeling that I don't feel like dealing with, But oh, and that's what I've been working with too lately. As of recently, the last few days, the Citrine Point, and I've definitely been feeling the abundance flow a lot lately. I've just been feeling that vibe of like commerce and abundance and prosperity. You know, this vibe of like communicating and connecting with people. You know, networking in a quote unquote business aspect, and also just like discovering new ways and ideas of, again, of doing what I love and realizing like how I was putting myself into this spirituality box, and realize like that ain't the end game of what I want. Like, again, it was just more so me waking up into spirituality, and just because I'm excited about speaking on, anything, and I could articulate things pretty well, I speak on things from just a spiritual sense in a lot of things, but not realize, I want to sit, because everything is spiritual in essence, and sit and just have a talk and more of a discussion that ain't always got to be like, of course I always are tied occult and esoteric aspects within whatever we're doing, and I always like to stop and define those words to take away the mysticism. But occult meaning that which is hitting, hitting, that which is hidden, that's in hiding or hiding from you, that which is hidden. And esoteric means the inner meaning. Exoteric means the outer meaning. Again, so when you hear people talk about occult or esoteric, it's just like that which is hidden or the inner meaning of spirituality, which is not necessarily hidden in that sense, is there, but yeah, for the most part, it's been hidden from most of the masses, you know. But again, been tapping in. Got the Herc of my diamond on deck, amplifying the psychic abilities, amplifying clarity. Got a cut piece of garnet, polished and cut. Again, grounding, focus, passion. That garnet deals with that passion and that grounded energy, and garnet is connected to, that Saturn energy. No coincidence that garnet is the stone for Capricorn. Let me show you how this all ties in and how mythology and all this all connects. Uh, garnet is the Garnet is the stone for Capricorn. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Saturn, sometimes depicted as like that. I mean, really, it's Pluto. Before I even go there, Pluto is really depicted as that underworld energy, but the Saturn energy is connected to the root chakra in essence, so it's connected to that lower, nature in essence. Again, like, because being grounded, the Capricorn energy is about Earth energy, being in the physical discipline, boundaries. Again, and Saturn energy deals with boundaries of being in a box, and a box has six sides meaning a hex. And so say a hex, as far as carbon, 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons, 666, and carbon and melanin, which makes up our bodysuits. It's like, again, like putting our soul in a box, no good or bad thing, but again, that's just the energetic expression of what's going on right now. But again, Garnet, again, Capricorn, Saturn, and also Garnet name is short for pomegranate, or again, garnet or granite from pomegranate. And pomegranate, color, the fruit is like this deep red, and no coincidence that in the mythological story of Persephone going into the underworld, you know, to meet Hades, she was gifted pomegranate, you know, that she bit into, and ended up kind of falling into this quote unquote spell of feeling like, all right, I'm gonna stay in this underworld, And then they got the story of Demeter, her mom, who was guided by Hecate, the triple moon goddess, but guided by Hecate. Basically, in other words, Hecate represents basically like the sacral chakra, our emotions and our feelings, and how her emotional guidance and feelings, Demeter's emotional guidance and feelings help guide her to meet her daughter, you know what I'm saying, and connect with her daughter, which I forgot what Persephone represents, like, you know, that aspect of the winter solstice. Don't quote me, because I forgot, but she's like, the story is like she's taken into the underworld for 4 months, or, you know, a certain amount of time, which equates to like a certain season. But you know, don't I fall back. But so again, working with that Garnet. You know, matter of fact, for the queens tapping into that Lilith energy, you know, Garnet and Ruby would be, you know, pretty fire. And I would say add a Shiva Lingam and Mystic Merlinite. And if you can't get Mystic Merlinite, Numite. You know, to tap into that inner feminine divine, you know, magic, especially with the sexual energy, with that Lilith energy. Because again, ain't nothing wrong with tapping into the sexual energy. You know, it's just us being aware that it is energetic exchanges. That's basically it. Also got my lode stones naturally. In fact, the advertisement at our store, we got them for $1. Lodestones. Lodestones basically sometimes called magnetite or naturally magnetic, good for grounding. And matter of fact, if you're looking to like really be balanced and grounded, uh, magnetite with Shiva Lingam. Talk about energy, talk about balance, talk about focus. Just you know what I'm saying? Like, good combination right there. Again, got the Lemurian Quartz, tapping into the Lemurian vibe, and also it's singing quartz. You know, they make this little high pitched noise when they touch each other, and basically that high pitched noise represents the Om. The Om sound is basically like the infinite, you know, basically the sound that permeates throughout the universe. But, and matter of fact, and it's kind of addictive. Like, whenever I have them, like, I can't help but to bounce them and make noise in my hand. Yeah, and these be great with connecting with the Akashic records, and definitely connecting with Lemuria, uh, like the Lemurian civilization and our Lemurian ancestors, which in essence our ancestors are us to some extent. But also, again, the divine feminine, like great for tapping into the divine feminine with Lemurian as well. Because again, in order for equity, you know, the divine feminine must rise in order to bring, you know, a balance. You know, because again, if you right now, things have always been off balance in the masculine. So if we put again, if the, you know, if one side of the you know, the weight, one side of the scale is like this and the other side like this, you know, to balance things out, I gotta put weight on this side that's light, so it could come down and pull this side up and balance things out. Because the weight been heavy on the masculine end and been light on the feminine end, so we gotta, so they could level out, you know what I'm saying? So we could bring balance and order, you know, guardians of the galaxy, you know what I'm saying? Basically, that we basically like the cells in the body that's getting things, you know, balanced, basically, you know. But that's basically it. That's all I've been working with lately. And also with the Moldavite, I made sure I talked to my Moldavite and was like, you know, like letting it know, like, hey, we tapping into the higher realms, but we also like grounding this information and bringing this information in a grounded manner, and in a manner that I could, you know, use in a practical way, you know, in this existence. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta talk. And of course, I did the Moldavite mantra. I invoked the manifestation of my highest good. You know, so we Gucci. Peace. Happy now. Now is to vibrate, y'all. Not too far in the future. Not too far in the past.